Madam Chair, ladies and gentlemen, myself and my co-conspirator, we have had to use our 4 ears to try and listen and feel. And I think we have carte blanche about how we decide to summarize what we're taking from today, and hopefully what you are also taking with you. I think for me, one of the things that came very strongly is a major point. It doesn't matter what topic the groups were discussing, was this issue of a shared vision. It seems like people felt that maybe as a country we have too many priorities, and as a result we are unable to marshal our focus on one thing that has got high impacts that we can rally around. And education kept on coming up as one such a priority that could marshal a shared vision. I think after we had the presentations in the morning and we saw how bad the situation is, some of the things that in my administration we probably commissioned wrongly or omitted, which are with us, and therefore we need to take even a greater leap forward to try and address, seem to come back to education as this big thing. And of course the fact that we had the World Cup very fresh in our mind and as an example of an initiative that made South Africa Inc. come together and push forward, we kept on referring to it as a symbol that demonstrates that we have got that capacity. A lot of the people talked about taking responsibility, which I think was very nice, because it didn't matter what topic we were addressing, people wanted to be the ones that make a difference together with whoever is there. So there was a lot of ownership that people have got. And so I think when Finlay and Associates come back to you to assist in taking some of the things forward, I'm sure there will be fertile ground, because there was a lot of ownership of wanting to be part of the solution. Issues around motivating ourselves, being the change that we want to be, came out strongly, as well as taking responsibility to look into ourselves so that we can also nurture ourselves, so that we have the capacity to nurture other people. We highlighted also some of the bigger challenges of our country, especially the ones that impact on women. The burden of disease being one, and HIV/AIDS in particular being one of the issues around which we obviously haven't sufficiently mobilized ourselves to rise up to the occasion. In initiative that I'm involved in now, where we do online mentoring of young people, teenagers, 13, 12, we have had an occasion just to reflect about the kinds of questions that kids ask us, because when they're online, they don't know who they are talking to. They know that we're older people. We call ourselves Life Orientation and Life Skills, Dr. Life Orientation and Life Skills, Dr. Lols. So they log in and they will ask, Dr. Lols, I've been waiting to talk to you all week, because we log in once a week. And they will come with all kinds of things. But we recently just had to reflect about looking at the data logs and analyzing the kind of information that we get, and thinking about the children who are HIV positive, who may not even know that they're HIV positive, born with HIV positive, and somehow nobody has ever told them why maybe they're on treatment. Then they log in and say, Dr. Lols, I'm taking these tablets. Do you know what they are? And you suddenly will disclose the child's status to themselves without the right environment. So we had to say, how many children in South Africa are in that situation? You find out when you are 12 that you have this disease. Can you imagine the anger, the inability to really deal with these issues? And there's thousands, I'm sure, of children in South Africa who are like that. It's even worse when their parents are no more around. So I guess the scale at which and the angles at which we have to deal with the issue and the impact of HIV/AIDS is actually quite broad. And I think each one of us can find a way in which we could be part of making the burden lighter for the people who have to carry it. There was also issues that were raised about how we deal with failure as South Africans. And I think there was a little bit of debate because people had different issues about how we deal with failure. But bottom line, we were being encouraged to ensure that fear of failure cannot be the reason for us not to try. Because as they say, the worst thing that can ever happen to you is never knowing what you can achieve because you are afraid to fail. If you fail, it means that you're doing something. So again, having taken a stance in this conference that we want to be part of something, we want to make the difference, we want to own the problems and the solution, clearly we cannot run away from the potential of failing. I think many of us who learnt a lot of things because other people tolerated our weaknesses and our failure, we are ever so grateful for those people who gave us that opportunity. So we should be able, now that we are aging gracefully, to do that for the younger people and even people of our own age group. So these are just some of the things that I actually picked up. And of course, I can never capture the eloquence as well as the feeling with which some of the things were said by the different participants. But I do want to thank the team for organizing this wonderful event, for giving us an opportunity to breathe and to exchange ideas. I think there's a lot of skepticism about Women's Day, whether we are actually using the day to do what it was meant to do, whether we are commercializing, etc. Whatever criticism there is out there, I think that when we get together like this, there's always something good that comes out of it. To the extent that we can improve the value and the relevance of the things that we come up with, to the extent that we can make sure that the things that we discuss actually impact on the people who need the support more, so that it's not just about us. Maybe those are the things that you should be concerned about. But I think we must just make sure that we do not allow ourselves to be made to believe that Women's Day does not have relevance. As long as the burden of the women is as big as it is, it can never be irrelevant. In fact, it's just too little. Thanks.